She's already had enough of being turned into the supporting character in a story that wasn't even told fairly. Hello everyone, dear friends of the channel. Today I bring you an intense story that shows how fragile trust can be in the world of entertainment, even when everything seems to be under control. Today, I bring you an intense story that shows how fragile trust can be in the world of entertainment, even when everything seems to be under control. It all started with a simple leak. A journalist, believing he had a scoop, mentioned in an anonymous column a new project by Kanyaman. What he didn't know was that this project was so confidential that even the actor himself hadn't announced it. The news spread like wildfire on social media and digital platforms. The newsroom where the journalist worked was flooded with calls, and his boss called him into his office. With a look that left no doubt he had crossed a line. Kanyaman, known for being meticulous and reserved, reacted immediately. His legal team demanded explanations, reminding of the confidentiality agreement signed beforehand. Although the leak wasn't illegal, it was considered a betrayal of the unwritten pact between the press and celebrities. The result? The journalist was expelled from the team. For him, it wasn't just about losing his job, but seeing how a career built over years of effort crumbled due to a moment of professional weakness. He tried to defend himself, saying there was no ill intent, that it was just an impulse. But Khan's silence was telling. The actor didn't want to hear explanations. For him, trust is non-negotiable. This mistake marked the journalist. No media outlet trusted him anymore. Every new proposal came with the same question disguised as courtesy. Are you sure you can handle sensitive information? That doubt became his calling card. Meanwhile, Kanyaman remained silent on social media, but his entourage hinted at his annoyance. The leaked project involved a high-level strategy and significant investment. After the scandal, everything had to be reconsidered. There was even talk of reviewing the list of authorized journalists for future events. From that moment on, nothing would be shared without his direct approval. Curiously, interest in the project only increased. Although the original article was withdrawn, other sites picked it up. Fans began to speculate, to piece things together. The famous Streisand effect took its course. The more they tried to hide the information, the more it was sought after. But over time, something else has become clear. Demet has also learned to use silence. Throughout the whole story with Kanyaman, her former co-star and, according to rumors, partner, she stayed cold, almost distant. When Khan faced harsh criticism and public backlash, she said nothing. Not a word to defend him, not a message to calm an audience demanding answers. And for many, that silence spoke louder than any statement. Was it indifference, strategy, or simply self-protection? Everyone has their version. But undeniably that silence left a mark. Some say Demet chose two sides, sweet and charming in public, yet more calculated behind the scenes. I won't judge, but actions or inaction often speak louder than words. Certain attitudes raised more questions. Subtle remarks about Khan, suspiciously similar to criticisms from other celebrities or media outlets, almost like a shared script. One wonders, why echo those words? What does Demet gain? Maybe just publicity. But then, where is the emotional honesty she once stood for? Still, beyond the rumors, Demet has every right to move on with her life. Her current relationship with Çağatay Ulusoy has been interpreted in many ways. True love for some, strategy for others. But clearly, the way she handled her past has left wounds among her audience. Because the public isn't naive, they observe, remember, compare. And when someone once seen as genuine begins to seem evasive, skepticism is natural. Even so, we cannot deny that Demet is truly talented. And maybe that's the most frustrating part. Seeing a brilliant actress clouded by doubts born of how she manages human connections. Because professional success is often tied to the emotional bond a public figure creates with their followers. People don't just watch a star on screen, they follow what that person represents off screen. And there perhaps Demet has left a void. I don't write this to discredit her, but as a sincere reflection. Maybe she still has time to show her most authentic side. Pero un masanunson testa mikwasena estan telusan, the one many still remember fondly. Because fame is fleeting, but respect can last. And sometimes all it takes is a genuine gesture, a timely word, or even an unspoken but understood apology. Demet Özdemir remains a strong, admired figure. Demet Özdemir remains a strong, admired figure, but she's also a woman who has lost some of that connection with fans who once felt close to her. Maybe now the challenge isn't landing more magazine covers, it's regaining trust. Not from the whole world, but from those who still believe there's a real person behind the actress. And beyond the criticism, one can also see a woman who has stayed true to herself, refusing to bend to industry pressures. Many admire her for standing her ground, for defending her beliefs. And that too deserves respect. But she's also a woman who has lost some connection with the part of the public that once felt close to her. But she's also a woman who has lost some connection with the part of the public that once felt close to her. Maybe the challenge now isn't to get more contracts or magazine covers, but to regain trust, not from the whole world, but from those who still believe that behind the actress, there's a person capable of looking people in the eye with sincerity. Still, there are those who criticize her not just for her history with Can, but for her personal life choices. Some comments, like those saying she had a relationship with Can and now she's with Özge Gürel, suggest some sort of rivalry or conflict among the women around her, especially when comparisons are made between their relationships and the loyalty Demet has shown toward her ex. The presence of Özge Gürel in Can's life, even after his breakup with Demet, continues to spark speculation and for some reveals contradictions in Demet's intentions. One of the harshest observations targets Demet's public image. Many of her followers see her as a woman who smiles through adversity, something that can be seen as strength but also as a mask hiding the pain or insecurity in her personal life. Still, it's important to note that while the comments may seem harsh, the criticism also stems from admiration for her work and her courage to keep going despite adversity.